Parents refused to meet our kids and called them bastards. Now, they are facing backlash. My mother sadly died when I was born, and my girlfriend's father died of cancer when she was 2 years old. Our parents met in kindergarten when we were 4 years old. 2 years later, they got married and had our siblings years later. At the beginning of their marriage, both parents treated us well, but as our siblings were born, they left us aside and practically treated us as a nuisance in their family. Due to their lack of affection, my stepsister and I became very close in childhood and adolescence. We were schoolmates, so we spent most of our time together. My mother's family lives in another city, but they were always interested in me. I used to spend my summer vacations with them. I always received gifts and money from my uncles and grandparents because they knew I was not treated well in my father's house. On the contrary, my stepsister lost contact with her father's family, and they were never interested in her. When we graduated from high school, my mother's family offered me to live in their city and pay for my college tuition. My stepsister was unlucky because our parents told us they couldn't pay for us to go to college. After all, it would be a significant expense for them, so she got a part-time job and studied at a public university. She ended up dropping out to work full-time to be able to run away from home because our parents mistreated her. Clarified that our birthdays were simple, unlike our brothers, who had 80 guests, extravagant decorations, and entertainment. Their gifts were flashy, but they gave us anything worth less than $20. We lost our virginity together. We were our first kiss, and we comforted and supported each other. We were very close when I moved to the city. We never stopped communicating. Sometimes I used to travel to spend weekends with her. When we were 21, my stepsister became pregnant with me. She worked 2 jobs back then to survive. We decided to tell our parents that we would have the baby, and I would hold them responsible, but they simply disowned us, blamed us for making them look bad to their friends, and were ashamed of us for having disrespected them in that way. They turned their families against us and blocked us from their lives. After that, my stepsister fell into depression. I took her with me a week later, and we packed her clothes and the most essential things for her. When I got to my grandparents' house, I told them what had happened. My aunt's family lived with them and listened to us. They already knew my stepsister before, and far from being upset, they offered us their support. My grandmother hugged her and told her they would treat her like someone else in the family as long as she had my child. But the condition they gave us was that we couldn't live together unless I graduated. We accepted, and my stepsister lived in their house for a year and a half. Our daughter was born healthy, and I visited her daily to see how they were doing. I eventually graduated, and we moved in together. My aunt suggested that my stepsister go to a therapist because she has problems due to rejection and lack of a father figure. For our daughter's first birthday, we decided to email our parents with photos of her in case they were interested in meeting her. Still, they responded that they were not interested in anything related to us, nor were they interested in meeting our bastard daughter. From that day on, we swore we would never communicate with them again. Years later, my grandparents died, and they inherited some property and money. By then, our second child had already been born, and that was before the pandemic. Finally, our third child was born last year, and I decided to propose to her. We planned to do my girlfriend's dream ceremony for the wedding in July. However, a couple of weeks ago, our parents contacted us, and now they want to have a relationship again and want to know about their grandchildren. It's been a long time, and they forgive us for our mistakes and humiliation. We ignored them and cut off their calls, but they knocked on our door on Sunday and wanted to talk to us. We reject them and do not let them into our house. Since yesterday, they began to defame us on their social networks with how bad people we were and how ungrateful we were. My girlfriend has been very anxious since then, and we have received hundreds of messages from friends and family who have turned their backs on us and criticized our attitude. However, today, my uncles came out to defend us and plan to take legal action against them for defamation. Furthermore, my cousins have clarified our situation with some evidence on their social networks. Our friends have also countered the publications, saying they were always careless with us. Even a couple of school teachers joined the publications. Our parents' favoritism is now being exposed. Finally, my girlfriend and I published the email where they did not want to meet their bastard granddaughter and that we were ashamed of their family. We decided that we would keep our promise not to expose our children to our toxic families, nor would they be invited to our wedding. My uncle suggested we hire extra security personnel. They even offered to pay for it. If this behavior continues, we also plan to take legal action not to allow them to approach us or our children without our permission. My maternal family is the best thing that has happened to us, and we feel blessed for it, but my uncles tell us that there is nothing to be grateful for because we are family.